Hello and welcome back to our HIP Roman Restoration campaign. In our last episode, we finished our many little wars against the little counts in Normandy. Actually, we didn't transfer the vassalage of this one under France as it's supposed to be, so let's do that right now. Get him taken care of. France also won their war against the Aztecs, or was it the Duchy of Berry, I think? These two counties. Which is nice. That saves us a war against them. We will be able to go to war against them at some point. I think our truce is going to expire within a couple of years, probably. 1349, so 3 years. Which is not as long as it could be, I suppose. We are trying to kill the Emperor, of course, but not having much success yet. We also tried to take a county from Swabia while they had a revolt going on, but unfortunately it ended inconclusively. So we can disband our troops there. Looks like our vassal king of Lorraine is attacking somebody. Where is his capital? Oh, he's moved it up here. Oh, he's attacking Swabia. War for Mason. Is that one of the counties or the duchies that I need? It is not, apparently. Up here somewhere. Assuming it's somewhere on his borders, but he has a lot of borders. I guess I could search for it, but yeah. We'll just assume it's somewhere. Which I think is a safe assumption. The old wound has finally healed, leaving a pretty grotesque scar behind. So this was from our duel with our rival, the Prince of Morea. So fortunately, we are not going to die right now. Do still have a dangerous faction, though. This is the Lower Crown Authority faction, which we're not going to worry too much about. Had a subject converted. Morea, of course, still in his faction. And not even wounded from our duel. Syrian war for somebody's claim on Jerusalem, okay. Just vassals fighting each other. Italy's at war now as well, or Italia Annonaria. Defending against the Castilian revolt. Okay, so there's a revolt in Castile and they've been called in as an ally. They're not conquering any land for me. France also will not be conquering any land for me while they still have a truce with the Aztecs, which is going to last longer than my truce, of course. After years of careful planning, this guy has raised a large army of exiles, etc., and is off to attack Württemberg. Okay. Good luck. Was Saxony always independent here? That they have a faction in Swabia? I think they were under Swabia, and actually some of these people as well, maybe. I should pay more attention to what's going on in this part of the world. Invite to plot from a vassal of Moldova. And ultimately me, of course. Fabricate a claim on the theme of Scythia Minor. Okay. Sounds like fun. Let me just check here that I don't have any Imperial Reconquest CBs on other people. Don't think I do. I have a truce with you anyway. Oh, you're not independent. You're under this guy. Oh, this is Swabia, of course, who we do have Imperial Reconquest on. Nuremberg, no Imperial Reconquest. No Imperial Reconquest. Well, I suppose we could just declare some other random war in the meantime to pass the time, I suppose, until we can attack the Aztecs again. Arranged marriage from the Khan of the Mongol Empire, or Kagan, rather. Just a courtier. Or my cousin, not a courtier. Sorry, cousin. I'll accept. No alliance, of course, but That's okay. My head is really itchy. Really terribly itchy. And scratch my head and lose 1 prestige, or try to ignore it and lose 1 prestige. I'm gonna just scratch it. Go wild, who cares? If you can't freely scratch your head whenever you want, what is even the point of being emperor? You've discovered a plot where the King of Moldova wants to fabricate a claim on the Roman Empire. Well, we definitely can't have that. So we'll say, stop that please. But we do have a revolt in the Aztec Empire, which is great. He no longer has the opinion bonus with his vassals from defending against... first of all, was it Sussex or Surrey or somebody up here? And then from our vassal in France, he was getting an opinion bonus with all his vassals for that. But now that he no longer has that, it seems like he's had a faction. The Independence faction, in fact. So what would be the ideal outcome for us here is for us to take at least 1 county from the revolt. This one wouldn't really help us. We'd still have to declare a war for this duchy against the Aztecs. What about this one? This is the last county in the Duchy of Aquitaine, so this would save us a war against them. So we'll take Aquitaine, and then we want to help the Independence faction win the war by fighting his troops. Though actually, now that I think about it, we won't be hostile to him, will we? So that's not going to work. Okay, well, at least we can avoid fighting the revolt armies so that we can not reduce their chances of winning, hopefully. But we also, at the same time, want to win this war before the revolt ends. So I think those goals are kind of not really compatible, but we'll see what we can do. So let's get this declared. We probably won't need too many troops, especially if we don't want to fight any battles, so maybe we'll just use our retinue. Actually, let's not use our retinue. It costs so much to reinforce them. I'd rather save some money. We should just be able to raise France's army down here somewhere, which should be more than enough. I suppose we could give a gift. No, we can't because we're at war, but if we'd given her a gift before we declared the war, maybe she could have hired some mercenaries to help her fight against the Aztecs. She has more troops up here. But it turns out I was wrong, actually, and we are hostile to the Aztecs, so never mind, we'll go and fight their armies. So our vassal king is going to end his plot, that's good. We'll just get straight in here. Actually just use half, because otherwise we're over the supply limit. And we have a peasant revolt. Can we find out where this is? Well, I can see it's down here, but apparently we can't actually go there via the button. Well, I'm just going to leave, I assume, France to deal with this, since I don't want to attack an army in the mountains. Okay. So I think with this army, the revolt has it well in hand. They have about 4,000 that just disappeared into the fog of war. He's got another couple of thousand somewhere, though, so let's send our retinue around here to hopefully try and intercept them. Not sure who we fought there. Hopefully it wasn't the revolt army, though it might have been. If so, it was because they retreated right into us. But I think we can take this opportunity to also siege more of their holdings. We can siege his capital and whatever other domain land he has, which is over here and here. make further factions more likely. Was it here? Yes. Let's raise troops to do that. And not this. Let's merge you again, take half of you. And I forgot already what the other county was. Was it this one? Yes. So we have those headed to the right places. And what is this army in here? Mecklenburg, okay. I guess we'll just pile on that. We'll head over here to siege his capital. My Despot of Ravenna claims that this duke is attempting to promote vile heresies. We don't care. That sounds fine. I give him explicit imperial permission to promote vile heresies if he wants to. Our son has died a sickly infant, which is very sad. These autosaves are really starting to take a long time. Illyricum is now considered part of our empire. Okay, good news. It's the Crown Authority faction still that is dangerous, so I don't think we need to worry about it too much. And France is raising troops. Oh, I guess they're off to deal with the peasant revolt. Good. Oh no, somebody's been sacrificed by the Aztecs. May the Lord see her safely to the afterlife. Recently I've taken my son with me when I traveled around the country visiting different villages, castles and cities. I constantly explain to him how people trade, what sort of crops we grow on the land, and so on. So he gains 1 stewardship. Okay. I just want to send this army up in this direction so we can see if we can spot any other Aztec armies. And if we can assault these holdings, I will do it. Yep, there's an army. We also want to keep an eye on the war score in the revolt. Make sure we can try to keep it at a relatively neutral war score and prolong it as much as possible. So the revolt army is here. We do not want to fight them. We want to leave them alive so they can hopefully win. Actually, maybe it doesn't help us if they win, now that I think about it. We're going to take this county from them. This county becoming independent, which is what would happen if they won, would not help us, because we would need to fight a war for this, but we'd also need to fight another war for the other county in the Duchy of Anjou. So we don't actually care about that. We just want to prolong the war long enough for us to gain this county, and then it doesn't matter what happens. Okay, well, that makes things a bit easier, I guess. We do also want to make sure we siege all of the Emperor's holdings, though, while we have the opportunity here. And we can assault all of them. Okay, that's all 3 of his holdings done. He does have only 3, I think. 3 counties, yes. And I think that was the largest remaining part of his army that we just destroyed there. Yeah, he still has 2,000, but they might not be all raised. Okay, Morea's a bit happier. Let's see, he's got 500 here. We'll see if we can intercept some of these. Don't think we're going to catch that one. Seems to be heading for those boats. And there's no other army hiding in the fog there. Okay. Well, I guess we've done what we can. So at this point we can just end the war whenever we get to the 100 war score. And there's no reason for us not to fight the revolt army either, so we may as well do that for extra war score. Unless this might end up with the war ending inconclusively. I think if the leader of the revolt dies, it would end inconclusively, and she is leading troops in Anjou, so she's up here. Is that right? Doesn't seem right, but if she's not in this army, then that's all I care about. My son is mastering the art of swordsmanship. Good for him. Speaking of swordsmanship, how long until we can duel our rival again? Because I am eager for a rematch. I think we can definitely take him. Have not dueled each other before, so you can't duel the same person twice. Is that the deal? I guess so. Well, that's unfortunate. We could duel some of our other rivals. Which is our uncles. Maybe we'll avoid dueling them. This war, this opportunity to prove my mettle in combat as I open my eyes to my true potential as a warrior. My personal combat skills are improving. Okay. Because we're in this battle ourselves, we're leading the left flank here. And we do have the ambition to become a formidable fighter, so this should hopefully advance that somewhat. I have learned many lessons from this battle. We continue the advancement of our combat skills. Okay, that got us to 63%. We should have halted pretty much any progress in this war. Well, I guess the rebels will be winning because they control all of their holdings. Though not for long. Hey, my wife is pregnant. I think that's the condition for them getting ticking war score, is just that they control all of their holdings. We have more Aztec armies up here that we can go and destroy. And another 1,500. Guess we'll send this army in this direction to maybe try and fight them. Our son is of legal age. He became a brilliant strategist. Okay, good for him. 20 marshal is pretty good. And not as good as our current marshal, but he'll make a good commander at least. Once there's a vacant position for him. Apparently France still hasn't dealt with this revolt. They've moved into Lusitania, actually. Surely somebody will deal with them at some point. Okay, another battle there. We have caught that 2,000, so we can hopefully wipe them out. We're about to finish a siege here, which is worth a decent amount of war score. Unfortunately, can't really assault this. We could if we brought in this army. Maybe we'll do it in the interests of making sure that we end this war while the revolt still continues. As it would be a terrible shame if it ended prematurely. And we had to fight a whole additional war against the Aztecs. Okay, that's 100%. We'll enforce demands. We gained this ourselves. Let's grant it to some worthy noble. And let's see. Can we transfer the vassalage directly under her? For neatness sake? Yes, okay. Good. So we can disband this troops. This troops? I can't speak today. This is not retinue, okay. I'll get you on your way home. Did I disband my retinue? No? I guess that must be them. Or else, do we have an army here? Apparently we do, it was hiding. Okay, a little worried I disbanded my retinue there, but I think we're good. Oh, well, it turns out my brother, who I very generously arranged a betrothal with a powerful queen, is extremely ungrateful and he's hiring men for an attack against me. Well, we'll have to deal with that later. But for now, we are just about out of time, so we'll leave this one here. Thanks for watching, and join me again next time.